today's special video. As you can see, I'm not in the Fiesta. It looks different in here. Are you thinking, are you in the Fiesta? Have you just changed your seats? Look closely, it looks different. Before we get into today's video anyway, I'd like to say thank you for everyone joining me today. Now, I'm going to be doing this car review drive today. As you know, I'm not a car reviewer, I don't do this sort of thing, but every now and then I grab hold of a very iconic car, a very legendary, rare cars I like to sort of get hold of and bring to the channel. It's not all about Fords on here, I do like a variety of different cars, but when I get hold of something as rare and as exquisite as this, I have to come and bring it to the channel. I have to. I'm not a car reviewer, so I apologise, I'm not the best at this sort of thing, as you know. I do know about my cars, but don't take this as a car review, because this car has been out for a very, very long time. And because there's only a certain amount left on the road, there's only a certain amount of number, and I love these cars. So I had them when I was a teenager. I had these cars, and I've always understood, and I know what they're about. So I couldn't say no, and I want to say thank you to Steve for making this possible today. Go out and drive this absolute car that I've had in the past, and that holds a very dear, close place in my car heart of memories. I wish I kept mine back in the day. So before we do get into today's video, like and subscribe. You're going to want to do that. You're going to want to follow me on Instagram. It's AJ Focus, links are at the bottom of the screen. Get on there if you want to see more pictures and videos, because I am doing pictures and videos of this car on there as well, so be sure to check it out. The steering is incredibly heavy in this car. Now today, we are driving a very, very rare, there's only 500 of them made, there's probably less than about 100 probably on the road now. I'm driving a very, very rare Renault Clio 182 Trophy. This is the last ever of the hurrah of the 182s, the 2-litre era of this car. Not so much the 197s or the 200s. I don't know if they made a trophy in that version, but I know they did. The 182 is the one that I've always wanted. So this is the 182 Trophy. Now what makes this one completely different from the normal 182s and 172s? Now they came in so many different varieties and different styles. 172 was 170 horsepower, 182 180 horsepower, and I had the two exits at the back of the exhaust. The 172 didn't come with an exhaust exit, it's just a single exhaust because it had actually a spare wheel well, where the 182s don't actually have a spare wheel well, it's a flat floor in the back. So yeah, so this one though is different from any other 182. It's different from a 182 normal version, it's different from a 182 Cup. This is like the ultimate one. This is the Trophy. This is the one that's had all the suspension beefed up. The handling's been beefed up on this car. It's got some lightweight turny wheels on it as well. I can't remember what tyres it had on it when it first came out as new, but this car was so impressive back in the day that Evo magazine and What Car magazine did this car as like one of the best handling cars they probably ever drove on the back road, and it outdone a Lamborghini Gallardo. That just goes to show on how capable this sort of car is. Now this is the 182 Trophy, so this one's had, like I said, it had some suspension work done to it. So it's at the front suspension, we have a tunnel, quickly. The front suspension's been beefed up, like I was saying. So we've got double shock absorbers in the front. It's got, I say that, it's got like a reservoir, so it's like race cars. This has got a race car handling at the front, and it's got two on either side, like reservoirs of overflow of oil. So these dampers on here are incredibly race car. That's basically what it is. It's got race car handling on the front. I love that. Just get a hum in there. It's nice. Really puts a smile on your face. Getting back into an actually aspirated engine is just. But this one's a bit different. This one's had a bit of work done to the engine. As you're about to hear. That's right. This thing's been cammed. It's had some headwork on and it's been cammed. Woo! Love it! careful because one of the springs at the front on that side is a little bit dodgy. So I'm not going to go too mad. Listen to that though, that sounded absolutely fantastic. Hit 5,000 RPM and it revs away to 7,200 RPM and it screams all the way. And it wants it, it loves it, it wants you to get there. About 6,000 RPM, 6,500 RPM. I'm changing gear. I can't get there. I'm just chickening out because this thing is mental. Oh my god. Now, as you know, I'm not one who gets excited a lot. As you know, you don't really see me excited enough on my channel. The Focus ST put a smile. I'm not comparing, but the Focus ST put a smile on my face when it got going. You got to wait for the turbo to spool up, and it got going. It was good. It was fun. It was exhilarating. That exhaust, that 5-cylinder rumble. You get out of that, you get back into a naturally aspirated car, and you think, what the? I miss having a car like this. Oh man, it's a different experience. It's just absolutely mental. It's so good. You know, that's only 3,500 RPM and I'm nowhere near 5 and it just wants to go. It's so fun. If you haven't driven one of these cars, or you have and you've experienced and you know what I'm on about, if you haven't, do it. Get one and just do it. You won't regret it. You won't regret. If you have a friend who's got one, ask them to drive it. Then you know where I'm coming from on this. You really will. It's so good. Right, I'm going to end this part of the video here, and we'll get back in a minute. I'm going to do a little walk around with you guys and just show you around the car, and then it's going to be a bit of cinematic and that while I'm talking and driving the way back as well, because I'm going to take a different route back. Hopefully it's not too bad. I don't want to get this thing too muddy and too wet on the wheels, because like I said, it's taken me a while to get the tyres up to temperature, because it's got some sticky rubber on here, because these cars need that, because it's so light, you need some sticky rubber. So as I'm driving it though, the clutch in here is, I forget how heavy the clutches are and how heavy the steering is, and we'll get into all the driving in a minute. But I just want to show you around this outside. It's so nice and it looks so cool. It's got a good stance. Alright then guys, so look at this on the outside. It looks amazing. The colour, the wheels. Very quickly, I just apologise as well for any wind. It is incredible. The day I come to do this, it has to rain and be windy. So I will try to do my best. Yeah, so I apologise for any wind, so I've had to move around here quickly to get away from the wind. So as you can see, this thing looks absolutely amazing in red. And then plate's been blanked out because the owner has asked me not to reveal that, so if you see it, don't say anything. We'll try and do my best. Look at this thing, I'm just going to let you admire it. You can see it's a trophy, it's got the trophy logos on the side, it's got the lightweight turny wheels on here, might just be able to see a bit of yellow. We'll get to the suspension, and then the back of the car, I've got the twin exit exhaust as well. We'll work our way around it. Let me just work around here quickly. Now, this is a 182. It's got lightweight turny wheels on here, so I had these on my 172. You can just about see in there the trickery of the suspension. It's got the yellow shocks. You might be able to see the second reservoir, so that's the second oil reservoir. You've got the main shock tower right there. So yeah, some real trickery on the suspension side. And on the back as well, it's definitely got some uprated springs, much thicker, and the shocks as well. I think might be slightly adjustable. It's got discs all round, and you can tell it's a trophy because it's got the trophy logo at the bottom. But the stance of the whole car itself is absolutely amazing. It just looks such a good looking car, even though how old they are now, 2005 upwards to, I think they went to 2008, 9, so they went on a little while. It's been a while. I've not really done too much research on how long these actually ran for, but I do know the trophy edition is the one to grab hold of, or anyone really. The cup versions are really, really good because they had the lightweight version. There's only a limited amount of number of these. There's 500 of them made, and less than that on the road now. Yeah, exterior isn't much different from the 182 normal, just with the trophy logo, and that's about it. And the wheels, it's where you notice it on the inside, with these crazy looking Recaro bucket seats. Now these aren't height adjustable, so they are only, you can go back and forth, and you can actually tilt them as well, so you can get your passengers in and out the back still. And these are very nice. These have been in all kinds of cars over the years, Evos, I've got them in now already, Integras, Honda, things like that. But Recaro have been around for years, they've been in all kinds of cars, but these just look like a very similar style to the rest of those other vehicles I just said, and I think they look great. And then you've got the original trophy floor mats, they look fantastic. You get the Renault Sport on the door sill here as well. It's no different from a 182 in here, just with these very nice seats, but it's a nice place to be. The only downside for me is that steering wheel. A lot of people say about it. I had the issue of my 172 until I changed the steering wheel. You just need a smaller steering wheel in here. It's too big. I'm a tall guy, I'm about 6'2", 6'3", something like that, and I've got tall long legs, and the steering wheel only has up and down adjustability, no in or out. So the steering wheel in these cars are a nightmare. They're too big, and because the seats don't adjust up and down, you are literally sort of stuck between the up and down on the steering wheel, and it's a bit of a nightmare to have a steering wheel. That's like a truck steering wheel. I don't know why Renault did that, but I know a lot of guys on the forum and stuff over the years have just moaned about steering wheels in here. Yeah, they're not the best, but they do have very nice thumb grips in here in carbon fibre, as you could sort of see. Very, very nice. Quite a common thing for those to start perishing over the years. And yeah, got some nice sporty pedals in here as well. They look very, very nice. Just sort of makes the interior a bit nicer place. And it's just got some nice silvery trim work in here on this side and the other side, along on the steering wheel as well. So it looks nice. Just normal Clio stuff in here. Nothing you're going to find. Glove box, nice and deep as well. But these seats, very, very comfortable, very, very supportive, to be honest. Very, very nice. It does have some pull-outs here as well. I'm guessing how that works somehow. Like that, you see. Just pull that out if you want the extra leg room, I guess, or the extra support for your legs. Overall, though, very, very nice. I do like that. Like I said, this one's had some engine work done to it, and you can sort of see there's some stuff going on in here. I mean, we've got uprated mounts, we've got uprated, everything's been uprated, suspension mounts. Well, looks at top mounts from K-tec, they look very K-tec-y. Got the strut bar as well. Nice colour, very nice. Definitely a bold colour to have on a red car. We've even got K-tec Racing air intake and air filter, KTR. Yeah, the Renault boys will know about this. So KTR are the ones to go to, are the wizards, a bit like Hendy Performance and other Ford performance companies out there. But KTR are the ones to go to for any sort of uprated Renault Sport stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, that's a KTR gasket in there. I know that because I had that on my 172, and it's white. This person's done it. I think he's uprated the intake manifolds, top and bottom. He's pulled it out. And I did the same thing on mine. I put the plastic gaskets on here. The space is made a little bit free, a couple mil. So I knew exactly what that is. That's from K-tec Racing. So this has definitely been the K-tec Racing. You can't see it, but it's had some uprated cams in here. So this thing is cammed. I think it's had some headwork done. Upgraded ignition coils and spark plugs. The engine's been done, it's cam belted, done, everything like that. So a lot of work has gone to the engine. These respond very, very well to cams. And my 172 had ported intakes, top and bottom. Throttle body was also done. I had an intake system very similar to this, and that was enough for me. And then I had an exhaust done, and then I went cammed. I cammed my 172. I had headwork done, valves and stuff like that. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Brilliant car, wish I kept it to this day. And now it's starting to rain quite hard, so I'm going to jump in the car and we'll go for another drive. It was a good thing I ran to the car when I did, because look, it just started raining. Great. It always happens when I come to do reviews. But yeah, it's a nice place to be in here. The seats are really, really comfortable, really, really supportive. I'm quite a slimish guy, so it sort of holds me very, very well. And yeah, I'm comfortable. Like I said, the steering wheel, as you can see, is a bit big. I'm looking at my legs are just, that's as high as the steering wheel goes. So I'm sort of setting my legs apart like that, just so that I don't get in the way of turning. So yeah, I would recommend putting a smaller steering wheel on these. 300 and something mil, yeah, about 300 mil, 330 or something like that. Something's nice and small, you know, just bound around about there. That's what I did in my 172, and it just made it much better to get in and out, being a tall person like I am. But yeah, it's just like a normal Clio in here. You would literally wouldn't expect it to be any different. Everything's very familiar. It has air conditioning as well. Being a trophy version, I'm guessing it's the last one, isn't it? Really, they just chucked that on there, just say thank you over the years. So that's nice of them. 9 times out of 10, it probably doesn't work because that's just a Renault thing. Mine didn't work, and I got rid of it in my Renault Clio. I deleted the aircon. Yeah, so this thing's been cammed, and I must admit, it is an absolute weapon. It really is, and I love it. I really do. So we're going to go for another drive because there's not much I can do getting out here, walking around the car now if it's raining like it is. So we're going to go for another drive, and I'll tell you what it's like driving. The sun's starting to sort of come out, trying to come out, so I'm going to have my sunnies on. So it makes it look like I'm looking at you, but I'm really looking at the road. So, like I said, it's nice in here. It is nice. Because I had one of these cars when I was young, I was small when I was younger. I couldn't remember how claustrophobic they are. It's quite claustrophobic in here. I'm not going to lie. You do feel like the door's on you. You're sort of like that. That's what you feel like. But once you start driving it and start going, you sort of forget. And it also makes it better if you are driving this thing on the track, or like, you know, if you're on a nice back road, like on a very, very nice day. It's because where it's so narrow and small, you can see every corner. You can see where you've got to put the car. You can see how the car wants to sit and settle once you come out the corner. So it's really, it is sort of thought out. I know modern cars these days have got bigger, heavier, fatter, smaller engines now. So you sort of, modern teenagers these days don't understand these sort of cars. If you're as old as me and you've had one of these cars in the past, and we grew up in the 90s, early 80s, stuff like that, you understand that fast hot hatches back then weren't really turbocharged. They were just naturally aspirated, high revving, cammed engines like this. And we're going to go for a little drive. I'm going to say to you guys and tell you how this thing rides on a little back road. I have to be careful now, I really do, because like I said, it's got a bit of a dodgy spring on that side, so I have to be careful. It is getting sorted, they've got springs to go on, so it is getting a new set of springs in the front. But I have to be careful, and it's just finished raining, and it's very, very muddy on this part today. My shoes are covered in mud, and so the tyres. So let's get going. This is a great road, this is, because it's just a dead end, there's just nothing up there, so you still got to watch it, because cyclists do use it to cut through. So first things first, it's just like a Clio in here. You forget, you're looking around, it's just a Clio, it's just an absolute Clio. And then you got that sort of exhaust tone, and you realise, okay, I'm actually in a more powerful 2-litre cam Clio, so you have to sort of pinch yourself every now and then and remind yourself that you're not just in a 1.2 Clio like they all used to come in. The steering in here is very, very heavy. Everything's manual. This is the best thing about it. This is why I love old cars. There is no driver aids. The only thing you have is traction control down here, and even that you can turn it off, and then you have nothing. You've got a little bit of ABS. That's it. You have no driver aids. That's what I love about these sort of cars. It puts you back in what driver's about. There's none of this electronic modern car crap in here to get in the way. Anyone could drive a modern car fast and quick and feel like they're a racing driver. It's not. It's the car at the end of the day. It's got all that electronic crap in there helping you out. Because until you get back into something like this, it really shows what sort of driver you are and how you can handle a car. I reckon you chuck a modern teenager in a car like this, they'd go, oh my god, everything's fucking heavy, oh, you know, I'm going to crash this thing, it's dangerous. It ain't, unless you know how to drive it. And this is the best thing I love. Because where it is, everything's manual, you can feel more of the car going a higher gear. You can feel more of the car. I can feel everything from the steering wheel. I can feel the brakes working. I can feel the accelerator. I can feel the gearbox all through the pedals. It is giving me information I need to know about the car when I'm driving. If you're on a track, it is giving you feedback. That's what you need, that's what you want, that's how you can perfect your ride. That's how you can go back to the garage, tweak the suspension, tweak the tyres, tweak the brakes, things like that. That's how you know. These days people are going to be like, oh yeah, but you can just plug into a computer and it can tell you that. The computer's all good and well, but at the end of the day, it's you driving, you have to get it. You have to feed it. And that's what I love. Let's go. 5,000. I only go to 6,500 RPM. It's still got another 500, 600 RPM to go. I can't dare take it there. It just feels like you're hurting it, but it ain't. It wants to get there. It's mental. And it sounds, the crossover, it sounds amazing. You can probably hear it on camera. It puts a smile on your face. It really does. And that black cloud over there does not look promising. That is very, very dark. That's not my glasses either. I'm going into that. I hope it holds off a little bit, because I need to go through it and then out, back on myself. So the handling wise, like I said, it's got these very race car suspension on the front and on the back. So it's got the double, like I said, the double oil reservoir. I can't really push it too much in the suspension because, like I said, it's got a dodgy spring, so I have to be careful about it. The previous owner has gone to work. He's done all the suspension on his car. Everything's been pollybushed and beefed up. In there as well, doing its thing, keeping it nice and rigid as well. That definitely helps. One in the back of the car also helps these cars as well, just stops that back end from sliding around too much. And also a rear anti-roll bar, an adjustable one from white line at the back, really helps these cars. Handling at the front makes it much more sharper, and it does keep the back end from skidding out too much, because these are very, very light cars at the end of the day. They're a good, probably about 1,200 kilos, maybe a little bit more, depending on what spec that is, I'm guessing. And depends on what size you are. And don't forget, it comes down to passengers as well. So driving this thing is very, very nice. You won't really complain being in a car with just normal suspension setup. You know, it's got this very trickery suspension on there. It is actually quite nice. You do feel it, and these seats are very, very comfortable. You might, after an hour or two, I reckon you will start getting tiresome with the whole being chucked about and bobbed about in here. So probably after a good while in it, you probably will start getting a bit annoyed with the bounciness. But I've lived with one of these for about 2.5 years, 3 years when I had it, and they had 2.5 grand's worth of coilovers on it. And I lived with that car for 2.5, 3 years, and I just put out of it. Just sort of thinking, because I didn't have enough money to buy another car, so you know, I was just putting my money into the 172. So it is nice. It is nice now, because these seats are very, very comfortable, very, very supportive, and the handling, like I said, is very surprising. Gives a smile on your face. It's one of those cars you can just get into at the weekend, go for a nice blast, then go to the shops, go home, and you still get that smile on your face, because in the back of your head, it's always there. One of these cars, they don't leave you. Once you've owned one, once you've camped it, once you've had some fun with one, it will never leave you. Mine left me a good 8 years ago, or a long time ago, and it never has left me. I've always wanted another Clio Sport, 172, 180, I don't care, one of those. I want one again, because they are just such a good little car. And once you start modifying them, it takes a lot to get good gains out of these cars, but that's not what they're about. Handling is what they're about. These are like the Lotus Aero Atoms of the day. Before any of that Aero Atom stuff came out, this was like one of those cars, you know what I mean? So we're going to get a bit of a straight up here now, so we can sort of get going again. reckon this car's got around about 195 horsepower now. It's got to. Cams and headwork and whatnot, exhaust. It's up there. Stay in that high red band. And I've got them out here. I know this road, so it's alright. Try and keep the power on a little bit in the corners, otherwise you lift off the back end, might overtake the front. Leafy and a bit muddy here, so I'm going to take it a little bit easy for this part. And again, a little bit leafy and muddy, so I am taking it easy. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. It's such a fun car. Yeah, look at that, just for a little bit of blast out for the back road, and that is more than enough. The car loves it, it thanks you for it. It's like we've got oil into places where it's not been in a while. So, with that, I'm going to end the video here and be a happy boy. I want to say thank you to Steve at Hendy Performance to let me take this car out today, because I love these cars. I am a huge Renault Sport fan. I'm just a Renault fan in general. Hot hatch of this era, I'm a huge fan of them. Don't get bored of that. He wants to go. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Like and subscribe. I will every now and then chuck up some more driving videos once I get a hold of some cool cars like this again. Sorry I didn't do much of a walk around outside, but like I said, the weather turned really, really nasty. And I'm in the black cloud right now, so it's not very nice out here. So yeah, it's going to get nasty again. So I'm going to take this car back because I've had more than enough fun. I wouldn't want to get out of it. I'm sort of like, I want to really keep this car forever, but I have to give it back. So thank you to Steve. I know you're probably watching. Thank you, mate, for letting me take this out. I really appreciate it. When you get another iconic car in like this of the era that I love, so let me know and I'll take it out. And if you guys want to see more of these videos, let me know as well. I will try and do my best to grab hold of some cool cars for you from now on. I will try. I'll try. I'm not a car reviewer, as you know. I'm not into all this sort of stuff. But once I get hold of a cool car like this every now and then, I like to bring you some content that's sort of not hands-on and working on a car. So I want to show you that I do drive them as well. So like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram. You'll see some pictures and videos of this in there as well. Instagram, AJ Focus. Please follow me on there. I'm active all the time there, very, very active. Also go on AJ Focus Teespring storefront. I have some Ford Performance merchandise for everyone. So you want some cool merchandise, get on there, links are down below, and have a browse and get yourself some cool items. Thanks very much. I'm going through a village now, so